Good?
Yep, I do.
Okay. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:03. Do a roll call. Scott?
Here.
Brittany?
Here.
I'm here. Brad?
Brad, are you here?
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Here.
All right. Only announcements we have is just the next couple meetings. We have committee of the whole on August 4th, and our regular board meeting will be August 18th. So if it's not on your calendar, put that on your calendar. Need a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Brad, you out there, or you just gonna be silent for a while? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, no opposed? Motion's approved. Need a motion to approve the minutes from the June board meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
All right, beginning balance is $63,539.25. Total deposits is $839,446.85. Trying to figure out how to scroll. Total expenses is $917,866.87. Ending balance is negative $14,880.77, with the local government pool balance of $2,314,171.05.
Okay, and I believe we need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries to accept the treasurer's report. Expenditures. Any highlights you need to point out, Leanne, or anything unusual?
I don't think so.
No.
It's pretty basic.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve the expenditures?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? No, motion carries. Student council, I don't believe we have anybody from student council tonight. Next item is the committee of the whole report. Hopefully you've all had a chance to review that or memorize what you did last time we were here. Or have a memory of it. Eagle Wings Charter School update. Nobody from the charters? Athletic director and extracurriculars, Nathan?
All right, short report here for this evening. Just a couple of wrap-ups here from spring sports. We had some other postseason honors that didn't get announced before our last meeting. We had 2 softball players, Peyton Simon.
Had a pretty short.
Can you hear Nathan?
Nathan's talking, can you hear him?
No, just keep going.
Okay, 2 of our softball players, Peyton Simonson and Emily Adrian.
For our ball board, so pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Nathan's covering it.
Nathan,
Okay, I can't hear it, so.
Yep, Nathan's talking.
They earned all district and Superior Telegram all area, so some good awards for those 2. And then we had 2 baseball players that earned all district and Superior Telegram All-Area. That was Isaiah Alberg and Jared Schultz, and both Isaiah and Jared were named District 1 Player of the Year for Division 4. So that's our wrap-up of the school year, and I'm looking forward to starting our next school year. We do have 2 coaching positions that are up for approval for today. That would be Jacob Dahlberg for high school girls basketball assistant coach, and Cole Nelson for middle school girls basketball assistant coach. So I think that's coming later on for approval in the meeting. And since then, we do have there are some other leads on filling some of our other coaching vacancies for the upcoming school year. So I'm hoping for our August meeting to have a couple more approvals for some of our other positions. So that's good that we're getting those things wrapped up. And then just looking ahead for fall, our fall sports meeting is going to be on August 4th at 7 o'clock. That's the same night as the committee of the whole meeting, so we're going to have that at 7 o'clock in case there's any conflicts and people want to be at both of those meetings. We'll have our fall sports meeting then. And then football practices for fall are there as listed. Football starts on the 5th, cross country and volleyball both on the 18th, and then middle school girls basketball on the 25th. So that's all I have.
All right, any questions for our athletic director? Nope, thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Principals report.
Yes, so it's pretty short and sweet this month. We just have a few, so we have our summer school session, our 3rd one coming up on July 28th. Some of the upcoming work is completing the analyzation of our academic data dig information, some of our student incident data, and just kind of more so preparing that information for our professional development days when the staff get back and really start focusing more of our efforts in a direction that suits the success of all of our students. And then in addition, finalizing, as you'll see later this evening, our personnel. Currently working on the new staff orientation that will take place this upcoming month, and then diving a little bit more into a mentor program and kind of fine-tuning and bringing that back to life. So we're providing that support for our new staff coming in. Upcoming training and conferences, tomorrow and the next day, have a conference geared towards informational sessions for charter schools, and then also looking at doing MLSS boosters with our PBIS team, and also doing a educator effectiveness certification calibration with CISA 12.
Okay. Any questions? Did we lose them?
We did.
Okay,
Let me
we'll pause a moment.
It's because we didn't want to have to listen to you talk.
Well, he's up next.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, not working. Is there, I don't know if it's because I don't have bars.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Or maybe it's Pete's end.
You should be calling over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I'm gonna add Brad too. 'Cause we lost Brad.
Hello.
Hey, Brad.
Oh, hold on, let me add Pete.
I lost Pete again. No, I lost Brad. Oh my goodness. Is it just my phone?
Should I call
I
one
never
of
get
them?
a-
Yeah,
Call
do
the
you
other
wanna
one?
try? Just feel like maybe doing a Google Meet makes more sense. Yeah.
What do you call Brad and I'll call Pete?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Yeah, Brad's not even going through. No, I'm on SOS, but I should work on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. You sound much better. Let me try to get Brad back on. Anyway.
Well, maybe adding him is what's screwing things up.
All right, I think we're both on here now, so.
Okay, Pete, you're up next with the superintendent report.
All right, perfect. So first things first, with the governance board, just giving you a little update. What we're talking about is what's called this lead teacher role, because we were taking a look at some of the needs and some of the roles and responsibilities that need to be accomplished through the governance board. And I know that there's a few teachers that have been taking on some extra activities on their personal time, and just trying to assess that and understand what it looks like, and make sure that we have a clear defined, roles and responsibilities on who's covering what, and then what does that look like? Because that information is going to be figured out with the governance board, and then coming back to the regular board, just for your understanding and knowledge and future proposal on how do we move forward with it. So just more of keeping you guys updated on that process and what they're working on. The next item to take a look at, so there, over the past month and a half, there's been a lot of discussion and then also votes in the Wisconsin legislature regarding funding, specifically with education. And as I have it there, the legislature did approve an increase in Medicaid reimbursement for special ed services, for general services, but it's not the 60% that was being requested for a while. So it's going up from that, roughly between that 30 and 32% to what they're projecting is at 42% this year and 45% the next year. So we'll see what happens. I know there's a significant increase in high-cost special education, but we don't have any students that qualify for that. So it didn't impact the district at all. The piece that I think is going to hurt the most here is the per pupil aid. The Wisconsin DPI, they sent out the proposed state aid for the 25-26 school year, and what we're looking at is that number there, the $234,348 in state aid. And what does that mean? It means that we can still levy the same amount. Our working amount as far as funds doesn't change. It just changes who pays for it. With state funding going down, that means that our local tax base picks up more, if that makes sense. So their big thing is people aren't going to notice it now, but come January, people are going to see that. And I think part of this is how we have to make sure that we're informing people that they're going to see this increase, and make sure that we're out in front of it. That it's nothing different that the school district is doing. It's just how the state legislature is changing this up. I will say that it is very political in the fact that a certain party wanted to make sure that people felt this pinch and understand that it came from decisions that were made a couple of years ago when the governor made his line item veto and changed some numbers in there, and it's all politics that are going into this, right? So so I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, but then making sure that we're communicating this out to the public so they're aware of it. So it's it's not a surprise when they see a larger tax bill. So, but then at some point in time, it's going to have to be a discussion on, you know, what do we need to take a look at, and how do we want to proceed forward.
Is that the 234,000, is that the amount that's gonna be spread out, in the tax district, or?
Yes, it'll be spread out per tax district, and each one will be slightly different, but regardless, everyone's going to see it. Everyone's going to see some type of increase there. So.
Okay.
All right. And it gets even better here as we go on to the next one, talking about federal education grant funds. I think some of you guys saw this when it came to the CCLC grant, or the 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant. Some Title II funds, which is more professional development, is not a huge amount. The Title IV-A, I think we use a little bit, but once again, not a huge amount there. But the one that's really going to have the largest impact is that 21st Century Community Learnings grant, community center grant, simply because that provides additional funding for our before and after school program, as well as some of our summer school program. And where it is, it's not officially cut, but it's, as you see there, it's what they call impounded. So it's something that it's the term that they use, just saying that we're putting it on pause, we're investigating it, and it has a great likelihood of not passing or not going through after that. So, anywho,
Well, I'd heard there was a partial release of some of that funding. Have you heard anything about that at all?
There was partial release of title funds, yes, but
Okay.
not necessarily of this. I haven't seen anything new come out on it. I know that they were working on some of this information in recent days, or over the past few weeks, and it's still in question. I know that this past week, the superintendents in CESA 12 have been working on, contacting legislators or senators, the senators, and also our congressmen on this topic. And I know I've sent messages, I've contacted offices, just saying this is a huge impact on districts, especially our small districts to the north, because we don't have necessarily the same resources that others do. So anyway.
Okay. When is that funding normally released to the district?
Beginning of the fiscal year, so July 1st.
Okay, so we're behind the curve right now.
That's correct.
Okay.
So we'll keep working that, because typically what happens is if the funds get impounded, it goes through a process, and then what they've seen previously, once it's impounded, there's a great likelihood that it will be eliminated. So henceforth, there's a lot of angst going on regarding these funds. So anyway, and then the last item was just the request for proposals. So I got a number of references, and I know we're going to talk about some of this stuff later, but just knowing I got references for all four, and that's some good information. So.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Move on to public comments. No public comments. Okay, great. Next item is personnel recommendations. And I guess either Ann or Pete will talk to that.
Go ahead, Ann.
Yeah, so we have quite a group of recommendations this time around. So just kind of looking at the list here, so It involves our industrial tech teacher, K-12 school counselor, 4K, and Eagles Academy paraprofessional. They'll be split between the two. A elementary teacher for our grades 3-4 position, a middle school, high school FACE teacher that will be replacing the previous FACE teacher that was originally hired. And she will be moving to the middle school ELA teacher position. And then in addition to
The 2 coaching positions.
2 coaching positions
Okay.
Nathan recommended.
Do we have any other open positions now on faculty?
I think the only thing that's open right now is a bus driver position in terms of staffing,
Okay,
but otherwise, school-wise, we are
Solid.
filled.
good, very good, good. Okay.
I'll make the motion to accept the hiring recommendation.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries, approving the hiring recommendations. Next item is acceptance of donations. I don't see anything on there. Item after that is social media guidelines. Hopefully everybody has read that. Pete, do you want to speak to that additionally, or?
Yeah, I guess what I would say, this was a start. I feel like I would like a little more input from the board, and maybe this is something that, we come back in August, after a little more time too, as I would like to re-engage some individuals on this process. I know that Dave looked over stuff, didn't necessarily have an issue, but I want to make sure that we have something coherent that goes along with our handbook and providing guidelines for staff members on how to utilize our social media. So.
Are you looking for input tonight, or the
If there's
committee
additional
meeting,
input,
or?
If everyone feels confident on this, it certainly could be a pass, but I guess at this point in time, I would recommend maybe tabling this, and if there's additional input, that it's sent to me on either now or via email.
Okay. Does anybody have any input they want to offer tonight?
Who primarily does the posting for Facebook? Is it up to whoever's in charge of that sport?
That's how I've pushed it, because when we talked about it last, there's the other piece of this too, that we were talking about the possibility of maybe having two different channels, one for our academic and whatnot, and then another for athletics. But yes, to come back to what your question was, Scott, is yes, I pushed it to the coaches to provide those posts. Simply because I don't necessarily want to add more responsibility to our current staff members, simply because we're all doing quite a bit as it is. So adding a point person for all of our posts it's just a lot. So.
Nathan, do you have any opinion on having a separate athletic page or channel, whatever we're calling it?
I know that we did have a separate page that we then consolidated as to try to get it all on one. I know that we've gotten some good hits on the stuff that we've been posting. I'd like to see a little bit more consistent across all of our sports programs. I think that's one of the hard things is, some there was a lot, some there was none, and to try to be a little bit more consistent on that, I think would be helpful for all of our athletic programs, not to diminish the ones that are already posting and being out there and giving information, but it'd be nice to have some more general information across the board.
Yeah.
I we had a dedicated athletics page before. If that's the direction we wanna go and post strictly athletic stuff on one page, I'm fine with that approach if that's the direction that we need to go.
Well, is that something you'd be comfortable with monitoring all the input?
I mean, it's time consuming. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to is if there's some direction as to like, these are the, it sounds like, and I wasn't in on the discussion from before, as to like trying to have a better understanding of what types of things are gonna be posted and what frequency of those types are gonna be posted. If you've got some guidelines to follow, I can certainly follow those guidelines and be able to post those
Yeah.
things as needed. I do have a lot of jobs that I'm trying to do at the same
Yeah.
time, and, monitoring social media stuff. If it's something that I could do, and I did before, but, it's a
Yeah.
big job too.
Yeah,
So-
because that's what we were just talking about before, the social media guidelines, that, I don't know if we're gonna adopt that as it is
Right.
now or change it, but I think it is gonna cut down on the frequency of posting.
Right,
Rather than, 3 a day, it's gonna be like 3 or 4 a week.
right,
So-
right. And obviously, if I'm the one that's pushing those out, then that's 3 or 4 per sport that we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
And, it'll happen, I mean.
Yeah,
I know some of the concern was the timing, so if there's a coach that can go, I wanna get this on, okay, we got this tomorrow, this changed or whatever, then it doesn't have to wait for you to have time to get at it, that they can tackle it right away.
Right,
too.
and that's another direction too. And I guess as long as there's guidelines.
right. And
You
so
know.
you could certainly push it down to your head coaches, that they're responsible for their posting, but that it has to comply with whatever guideline we do end up adopting.
Right, yeah, I mean, I think if there's these are the things we post, these are the things we don't post, this is the frequency, yeah, it doesn't, as long as we have an effective way to give out, the ability for our coaches to post, and they can do that, then it's more of a, hey, I need you to put some more information out there, or, hey, these are the guidelines, we've gotta maybe curtail some of these pieces because they're not meeting our current
Yeah.
guidelines that are adopted, so. Okay.
Is there any posting that would happen before the next BOE meeting?
I'd say the only thing, I don't know of what, like, none of the coaches have submitted anything to me, cause right now, I currently don't have the ability to post anyway, so, like, I haven't had that ability since we condensed into one platform. The only thing that I know of that we'll post is a reminder of that fall sports meeting on August 4th, to push that out to information, what other coaches might have, other than it's, hey, get to the sports meeting. I don't know of anything else that needs to be posted, but that doesn't mean that there wouldn't be.
Right, and coaches communicating with their players will go through that app, whatever app.
Right, and that's something that we're gonna
Not-
talk about at the sports meeting,
Yeah.
is adopting SportsU across all of our teams. So there will be that platform that they will be using that for all of their inter-team communication.
Right,
So,
right. Okay. All right, absent any further discussion, the next item is facility use and expenses for summer athletics. Pete, is that yours?
Yeah, so just so I'm clear, with the social media guidelines, is that being tabled?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, okay, sounds good. All right, so facility use and expense for summer athletics. This, once again, was that discussion about the expectation for staff as far as, prepping our facilities and making sure that we're good with the additional potential wear and tear of our gym, or if we're adding more cleaning requirements with Mark and his crew during the summer, and then also what is the expectation for transportation? We're allowing it, but the teams pick up the fuel bill. So that's what was on the table here.
Okay. Has there been any big conflicts so far this summer with facility use and?
I wouldn't say necessarily conflict, but expecting to use facilities and just unsurety because we're using our facilities more than we have in the past.
Okay. Well, I mean, as far as additional, cleaning of the floors and all that, I mean, maybe that's something we could push on, that responsibility to the teams rather than pushing it onto the maintenance staff. I mean, they've got their hands full doing a lot of other stuff over the summer.
Right.
Maybe that's something we consider.
Have them sweep the gym, they obviously.
As
would
soon as they're
scrub
done
the
with
gym.
it, before and after, and do the things that they normally would expect our maintenance staff to do.
Set up the score table and things like that.
Yeah, I guess it was just to be clear on this, John. It was with the cleaning. We're talking about the high school gym because I know that's utilized a lot more, and that's what's been utilized, in past years. But it gets into Sandy Slade Gym. Are we willing to accept that risk of them using that facility for any games and clinics that go on? And that's all that's used in the summer, but then they're responsible for setup and tear down. So that's the one thing. Are we okay with that? Because I think when it gets into more use in the high school gym, that's where you get into a lot more of the cleaning issues, simply because summer school uses that as well. So there's a lot more use and cleaning that's necessary.
Well, I know they used it in the past as far as like for camps and that, I believe, or did they only use the other gyms?
Mark tries to restrict it to the high school gym being used more during the summer and saving the Sandy Slade gym, so the floor stays nicer for the beginning of the school year. So when the hope was that when the high school gym is available, use the high school gym for practices and things like that, and maybe, tournaments during the summer, then maybe using the Sandy Slade.
So we refer to the newer gym as the high school gym. Sandy Slade is what, then the not high school gym?
High school is Sierra's gym.
Sierra's
Yeah,
gym.
So, well,
it's the
that's
newer
the one,
gym.
that's the one that she uses. She uses
Well,
the
I mean, they're
one down
they're in
the-
Slade right now.
Right, and there's a
That's correct.
tournament going on
Yeah.
tonight, so then they're using it for the tournament, but if they have practices, trying to encourage them to use as much as possible.
Okay, just
the
for my
other
own
gym.
knowledge, why do we call that the high school gym?
High school gym classes take
Yes.
place in that.
Just because
in the
that's
new
where.
gym. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know, it does, it gets
Newer.
confusing.
Let's call it the new gym. All right, okay. So, I mean, I guess then it's really, we're using both of them throughout the summer. But practices are primarily in the newer gym. Tournaments, games, whatever we might have are in Sandy Slade.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. But I think whatever gym anybody uses to try to take the burden off,
Maintenance.
the maintenance crew, then those teams are gonna have to be responsible. They can't just walk in and expect it's gonna be all done, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
And that's
during the school year with SSYBA and things like that, they need to clean up the gym. They set it up themselves, clean it up. We don't charge them for the use of the gym.
Right.
They pay for their own officials, which Summer League is currently doing, paying for their own officials.
Yeah, whether they get parent volunteers to do it or whatever, as long as, you know, Mark kind of lays out how it has to be done, then I think we should be fine.
Okay. And that's truly it, just trying to get, you know, the board's perspective on this and guidance, so we can deal with it accordingly, simply because it's more than what we've experienced, simply because we had the limited contact days, so what we would see would be camps, and that was pretty much it, right? So adding on these games and tournaments and whatnot during the summer is just more, and understanding that there's more responsibility that goes with it. The wear and tear on the gym, you know, Sandy Slade gym, just understanding that that's the case, and if we're good with it, great, and we can plan accordingly. The other question is going to be in that transportation piece. Can they use the school vehicles and then just still, you know, take care of the fuel expense if they're doing travel?
And just so you know, so far this summer, they've been using the vans, but they have not paid for the gas.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not aware, I mean, is the travel fairly local, or
Like Proctor, been some of the games.
kind of just in the Twin Ports
So some of
area?
them are.
We're not going to Eau
Right.
Claire or Madison or nothing like that.
My concern is going all over the state or all over the country with them.
Right. I know that they've there's a plan to play girls basketball at the Target Center. So I mean, that gets into the mix here as well.
There's a plan for that this year?
They're trying. They were trying to get that set up. Yes.
I don't think fuel is unreasonable.
Having them
I don't think so
cover
either.
their fuel.
I mean, just the use of the van, the wear and tear on the van is cool that you can use, but
Cover the cost of the fuel.
cover the fuel to get there.
And that's what we've done with some of the other ones, like even during the school year, when some of the teams have gone down to the dome or whatever, then
Yeah.
we've had them pay for the cost of the gas.
It's cheaper than 35 separate cars.
Yeah.
And then there is that, we still have the policy where it has to be an employee of the district driving them, right? So a coach would be an employee,
Right.
an assistant coach would be, but those would be only two unless a teacher, faculty member, is part of the parent group or something.
It would still fall under those parameters. That's correct. And I think, you know, what I explained previously is the guidance that we received from WIA was kind of wishy-washy when it came to transportation. And I honestly think by doing this, by allowing them to use the vans, but they pay for the gas, falls center mass of this, of the guidance provided by WIA.
Okay, well, makes sense to me.
So just to cover it, just in case, if they have so many players that they'd like to take a bus, then I would say that they need to cover the cost of the bus driver also, if that's.
Oh, absolutely, if they're gonna transport that many.
So we
yeah.
might wanna have that just included just in case.
Fundraise for that by, saying it's $15 a person to ride the bus or something for a van bus or whatever.
And if for whatever reason we don't have a bus driver available or anybody that wants to cover that, then they're just gonna have to come up with a different option.
That's correct.
Yeah, and usually what I do is I calculate out the cost and charge it to them, so we're not estimating.
Okay.
All right, so do we need to do, I mean, this is just for discussion, do we need to?
No, either we table it or we make a motion with what was talked about here, so.
Okay.
Another quick one, so far this year, because we have not said that to them already, that they need to cover the cost of the fuel, are we just going as it's been for the rest of the summer, and then this takes place September going forward?
No, I think if we pass it tonight, it's tonight and forward. I mean, because otherwise it's just a,
Okay.
yeah. Unless anybody has anything else. They wanna start it later, or,
I'm
How are
good.
you gonna run that, like, are we gonna say the vans need to be filled at the end of it, and when they take them, they're full, is that what we're doing?
Correct. So
Okay.
generally what we have them do is make sure it's filled up when they leave, and then they fill up when they come back, and they pay for the cost in that in-between time.
well, I mean, if they bring it back full and they just pay for it however, then there's really no other involvement. They don't have to pay the school or reimburse or.
Well, generally it's coming from their activity accounts, so the school's involved anyhow. And
Yeah.
if we do it at JT's, then it's
Okay,
I'm tracking the excise tax, so that's
Yeah.
easier to do through them.
okay. Anybody have any objection to moving on it tonight?
So what are you deciding for sure? Are we telling
That,
Ashley that now, if you have a tournament tomorrow, you're going to, the team is in, has to
that,
pay for the gas?
yep. Pay for any driver expenses if they need a driver, fuel expenses. Basically make it no cost to the district other than getting to use the vehicle.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. So we'll just have to let the teams know that starting tomorrow, if they're gonna use a vehicle, they're responsible to pay for the fuel and driver if needed. Okay. Next item is professional and support staff handbooks updates.
Roger that. So, once again, just the handbook with the highlighted updates to it, as you've seen previously. And then the other piece of that is the professional credit reimbursement actual policy that mirrors our practice.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the changes, highlights? I'll take silence as assent.
There was an email that was sent out. Was there any issue with that?
No, that was a plan that's being dealt with here, so
Okay.
I'd be willing to, highlight that plan with you, but to me, it's a non-issue, so.
Okay. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the two items.
I'll make that motion.
Handbooks,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You got, who did the motion, Linda?
Yeah, Brad and Scott.
So,
Thank you.
so that covers both the handbook and the policy, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Next item is individual early retirement health and dental insurance provision policy.
All right. Once again, this was a policy that we had previously. Somehow we got into the retired section, but it was a practice that we were still conducting. and just want to make sure that we're either not doing the policy and the practice, or we have the policy and the practice. So.
Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, I'm not sure if we're ready to tackle that one tonight, maybe we push that to August as well.
That's totally fine here, so.
So it's one that never should have been taken out. It was taken out in error,
The policy was taken out?
in error.
Okay.
Yes. So it
And this is
wasn't,
just-
it wasn't anything that was ever discussed to remove. Somehow it was replaced with a policy number that was the same, and it was,
So this is more just a technical?
yes, it's just getting it back in the policies because the number was eliminated. It was never an action item.
Okay,
It should have never been removed, so it's not like,
Yeah.
is this
It's-
something we wanna add? It's something that was never removed.
That's what I'm saying, the practice continued, but the policy was changed and disappeared.
okay,
So it's just making sure that our policy and our practice match.
okay. Well, then I suppose we could entertain a motion then to reinstate the policy, to put it back where it belongs.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion to reinstate into our policy provision carried. Okay, next item is sports personal record milestone banners. Is that yours, Nate, or?
You know, we just had a discussion as to what type of accomplishments are we going to, in discussion of adding banners, just looking for some guidance as to, you know, at the June meeting, I gave some choices as to the directions that we could go, highlighting either any of our teams that made a state tournament or just ones that won hardware at a state tournament. I know you guys discussed that a little bit at the committee of the whole meeting that I wasn't at the beginning of the month. So just looking for some sort of idea of which direction we're looking to go.
Yeah, it seemed to me, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that the kind of the consensus was for those type of personal milestones that could be displayed, because we're gonna have, you know, again, real estate issues in
Mhm.
Sandy Slade. So any of those personal records, and we can, I guess, determine at one point what all that will entail, but those would be displayed in the newer gym.
Okay.
Is that everybody else's
Mhm.
recollection?
Yeah, and it was just team sports that placed at state that would be in Sandy Slade.
Okay. So at that point, there'd be looking at purchasing maybe 2 banners to recognize our runner-up in cross-country and our runner-up in baseball from the 23-24 school year. Those would be the 2 that we would be looking at.
To add in.
To add
Slade.
as separate banners in the high school or in the Slade gym.
Right, so, yeah, team in Slade, individual in the new gym,
Okay.
which I'm gonna rechristen that. Okay, go on, for purposes of this meeting. Okay, anything else on that, or?
I guess 1,000-point scorers, because that's an individual accomplishment, is that something that we'd look at putting in the high school gym then, you know?
Well, we're getting a lot more of them.
Right.
Maybe just the high boy, high girl, I don't know, I don't know what anybody else feels.
That wasn't on my original discussion.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that was kind of the first wave, and then, you know, things like 1,000-point scorers, and I know like, track and field records and cross-country records has been something else that has been talked about adding, so just, you know, a decision doesn't be made,
Right.
need to be made tonight, but it's like, okay, let's get through this first hurdle, and then maybe we can talk about some
Yeah.
of those other pieces.
Cause it can
as
go
they
on and on, which is fine. I
Right.
mean, I've been to the Couturier gym, and they've got everybody
Yep.
and their brother, you know, that has a personal record of some sort. And
Right.
primarily they are for track and
Mhm.
field, or, probably cross-country as
Yeah.
well, but, and you know, some gyms have, like you said, 1,000-point scores, and, you know, that's a can we can kick down the road a bit
Right.
as to exactly what we're gonna do, but,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. And there was some discussion on it. I thought all of that was still being considered for the high school gym.
Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing else on that, we have a whole slew of, policy updates. It's our second reading, so hopefully everybody did their homework and read them all. Any issues on any of them, and otherwise we can entertain a motion to approve that grouping of policy updates.
I'll make the motion to approve the policy updates as presented.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes to adopt the changes made on the second, this group 2 of policy updates. Next item on the agenda is sports participation in lieu of PE credit. Pete, did you want to address that one again, or Ann, or?
Yeah, once again, the discussion we had was, you know, that it would be 2 different seasons, that would have to be counted in order to get this, in lieu of. So what it would be is, they would be able to take a different class other than PE for only a half credit. And it has all the parameters that go with, what would be expected for those 2 sports, sports seasons rather, and they would have to fill out a form for each of those seasons for it to count. And the parameters, it's not freshman year, but it's sophomore through that first, or the fall of their senior year would count.
What is the requirement now for PE credit for high school?
The state standard, as well as our district, is 1.5 credits.
Okay.
Is there any opportunity where this would prohibit someone from graduating? If they got injured and didn't get their half credit?
That's why you build in that buffer to make sure that you have that opportunity to make stuff up.
Okay.
So.
I'll make the motion to accept the form presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Nobody opposing. The motion to approve the PE credit form is passed. The next item on the agenda is the athletic trainer service. Pete?
Right, so once again, this was something that was brought forward, and Nathan can speak to this as well. Once again, it is Tamarack and Hayward Medical Health Center saying that they would provide athletic training services without charge to the district, as long as they can have it posted that they provide that service to the district, and there's no other advertisement from other healthcare facilities in our facility.
Do we know, I mean, posted in what way?
I don't think it was anything extravagant, but it's just athletic training services provided by Tamarack and Hayward Medical Center.
Would putting it on our marquee out front
No,
Meet
it
the
was,
bill?
it was posted in the facility. Nathan, I mean, you can speak to that too.
Yeah, a sign within the Slade Gym that says athletic training services are provided by Tamarack Health. And then in our program, we have the ability to customize all of the things that are listed for our rosters. So we can add a line that says the same thing, athletic training services provided by Tamarack Health. And if it's the same trainer,
On, like programs or something you mean?
yeah, like, so when we print off our rosters, you know, it says coaches and athletic director, and we can just add a line to that that will state that Tamarack Health. And if it's the same trainer that's gonna be servicing, we'll just list that that's the name of the athletic trainer that would be there, so.
And then what are you thinking goes on our limited wall space in the gym?
Yeah, that, I haven't, I did ask the question about like who would provide this, and I did get some information back from Tamarack, and they say, well, you know, we can chat about like where that signage could go. You know, I think we've got some space on the end wall by the stage, that underneath the scoreboard, I think that we could probably put something there to state that, so.
Could it be a stencil we put on like the scores table on the padding maybe? Underneath?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I think moving, if we want to take a look at approving this measure, and then we can come back to some different recommendations on what that can look like. You know, so pending, you know, that approval of, you know, what the messaging looks like, so.
Yeah, and in past experience, I've seen with banners on the outside fields as well, so baseball, softball, so it's displayed in all athletic facilities.
Okay. And that's for a 3-year term to start out with?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
Okay.
What is the school's current policy on advertising in the gym?
To this point, we have not entertained, and it's been a pretty staunch stance that we have not done that. So this would be,
Yeah, cause I wanna say a year or so ago that someone had brought that issue up, and it was not approved. I don't know that it was necessarily opposed, but it was not approved at the time.
yeah, it was brought to the board. It was in public comment.
Yeah.
Last fall, you know, and it was talked about a little bit that, you know, it wasn't something that the board was interested in at that time. So, and I think we can caveat that, you know, that we pass this and when we put that up, the saying that we will make decisions if we're going to do additional advertisement from that point. But I mean, this is specific for a service, you know, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I think a policy needs to be made outlining what qualifies for advertising in the gym.
Yeah.
Because now we're taking on someone outside of our community that is post our children excelling in sports, and now we're putting them on our wall before we've offered that opportunity to anybody local. And how would that affect? It says signage of other healthcare entities in the facilities. Well, does that remove Balance Wellness from the picture? Can they no longer advertise on anything in the school because they're a healthcare or JLAC? If they wanted
Right.
we don't
I
wanna.
would fair to say that would be a comparable service, Scott, but I mean, we can certainly check on that, so.
Yeah.
Well, I know Balance Wellness, they offer like PT and that kind of thing, so that would be caveat there.
There's also, I think, an opportunity for, if we proceed with this, that this is for home games, right? That they provide a athletic trainer service.
There are times where our trainer will travel with the team, but it's not very often.
Is there an opportunity that Hayward would provide med kits to travel with when we're traveling? Because that was a topic that was brought up a few months ago about buying med kits for.
Yeah, I know we were in the process of that. I don't know if, you know, when the trainer does travel, they obviously have their own that they bring. I don't know if that's something that they would work into this as well. I don't know.
Did we purchase those kits at all?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, that's good. I mean, if we're.
Yeah,
Um,
because I was trying to work through Les, and we have been able to connect to make additional purchases, so.
okay. Do you have a sense of how, I mean, are they wanting to move on this?
They would like to know before the school year starts, just so that they can deal with staffing, because if they're adding, you know, staffing for, you know, it would add for them, it would add volleyball and cross-country services for them for the upcoming school year. You know, they already are on for football. You know, this would just be for high school, so it wouldn't be a middle school piece, but it would add 2 sports for them this fall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it is a great benefit for the school, but, you know, there is an issue too of, you know, does this open the door, how does this open the door to other kind of sources of advertising? I mean, my sense is we could approve this now and still look at, do we want to do something else with other entities out there, people that might be interested. I don't think the district should be looking to necessarily find anybody else, but it's, you know, if we were approached with a proposal to, hey, if you hang our small banner or whatever, I mean, again, we have space limitations.
Mhm. And I know the last time the idea of athletic training came up, I contacted Essentia, and they basically said, you're too small and you wouldn't make us enough money to put athletic training services in your building.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a little bit different where we have someone, and granted, it's a service in kind. Yes, they're getting something in exchange for this, but it is at no cost, physical cost to the district, which was something that with Essentia, you know, they didn't give us the opportunity, but we would have had to pay for those,
Right.
for those services.
Yeah, and I mean, we've dodged a bullet probably for years not having any athletic medical support at all.
Yeah.
So.
We've been fortunate that we have enough first responders at our games that if
Yeah.
something does happen, we've had some coverage that has been there by people that are trained, but yeah, there is that piece that is missing.
Yeah. Okay, well, I would, let's, if someone wants to make
I'll
a
make the
motion.
motion.
Okay, second,
I was waiting for the rest, I was waiting for the rest of the
Okay.
motion. Second.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Can I oppose?
Okay, one opposed, the motion carries. Enter into the agreement with, I forgot who it was. Tamarack. And then I think at some point we can further discuss any other advertising or anything and create a policy for that. Okay, DHH contracted service with Superior School District.
Right, once again, we do have a couple students that require deaf and hard of hearing services. We were contracting through CSA 12 for service, but it was a virtual service. which for young students is not great. We have an opportunity to have a qualified person come in person from the Superior School District, and it's just contracting for the time that he's coming in to provide that service.
And I did see Superior passed,
They did.
allowing
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
Do you have a sense of the kind of cost comparison between doing this cost share agreement and what we were doing with CISA 12? Is it a net gain, loss?
I don't have the specific numbers for you right this instant, John. I know it's fairly comparable when you take a look at it. I think this one is just a little bit more so because it's a more experienced person, but I mean, we can certainly get that to you.
Yeah, well, and this is in person
Right.
as well.
That's where I was looking at it. The amount of time that we're going to be using is going to be pretty limited, but far more beneficial for the time. So.
Okay. Take a motion to approve the contract for the shared services.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Brad, you still on? He may have dropped.
Yeah, it's hard to get my mute button quick.
Okay. All right, all those opposed? Motion carries to approve the contract. Okay, we're ready to go into closed session. Any motion to that, or I just read the? You get a motion to move into closed session?
We'll just read off. We can read off and convene into closed session.
Okay. Convene in a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, 1C, to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. And why don't we take about a 3-4 minute break, and if you need to use the restroom or stretch your legs. At 7